Hello, my name is Jake. I'm a student with CareerFoundry in the Data Analytics Program. Today I will be answering some questions for Achievement 5, Exercise 7. There will be 5 questions. The first one, what does CRISP-DM methodology for data mining entail? What does the data analyst do in each step? CRISP-DM, or Cross-Industry Standard Procedure for Data Mining, is a system created for data mining broken into the following 6 phases: business understanding, data preparation, modeling, evaluation, and deployment. So the first phase in CRISP-DM is business understanding. Business understanding is about knowing what the goals and priorities are for the business, so that the data you collect and analyze will be useful. The second phase is data understanding. Data understanding includes the collection of data, checking it for anything missing or other errors, and calculating some basic statistics to get a grasp on what the data tells. Everything from here on out should be documented for future reference. The third phase of CRISP-DM is data preparation. Data preparation is getting the data ready for analysis. This is done by choosing which data to keep and cleaning said data. Data preparation also may include creating new data through derivation. This brings us to the fourth phase, modeling. Modeling is the term used for a set of logic and algorithms applied to the data. The model used would be determined by the goal and desired outcome of the project. In this phase, the model will be designed, but will still need to be tested and altered. The fifth phase is evaluation. The evaluation phase is where a team will determine whether the chosen model should be used, or whether it should be tested further or abandoned. This should be done by a team of industry professionals. The evaluation phase should also include a thorough review of the whole data mining process, to ensure nothing was overlooked or done in error. A presentation should be created regarding the recommendation of whether the model should be deployed. Finally, the last phase is deployment. Once your prototype model has been tested and confirmed, it's time to deploy it to the world. This phase also includes monitoring and documenting model performance, and making any changes if necessary. Question 2. Explain what needs to be done before you can forecast time series. In other words, what does time series analysis involve? Time series analysis is an analysis in which an independent variable is a measure of time. This could be milliseconds, hours, weeks, years, decades, etc. The dependent variable is then analyzed in hopes of finding a pattern or trend. Question 3. Discuss the main principles of data ethics, as well as what companies or organizations could do to uphold these principles. The main principles of data ethics include data privacy and security, transparency, accountability, and equality. When it relates to data privacy, individuals should be in control of what data they give and how it is shared by the organizations. Transparency is important so that individuals know what data is being collected and what it's being used for. Accountability is vital that organizations keep the data safe and are accountable to who has access to it. And finally, equality. Knowing the demographics about their customers should not lead to any bias or discrimination. Question 4. Imagine you're an analyst at a financial services company, and you have some concerns about bias in the way a predictive model was measured. How would you raise your concerns with your manager? Make some suggestions for how to avoid measurement bias in the future. How would I raise concerns regarding measurement bias with my manager? If I suspected that a predictive model had bias in their measurement, I would bring it up with the manager. Having bias could really affect the outcome of the data and make the analysis obsolete. I would write out the specific biases that I suspect and the reasons I believe they are biased. I would then schedule a meeting with my manager, as it's easier to discuss biases in person. It would be wise to do all these things as soon as possible so as to not waste any time. It would also be a good idea to discuss the biases with the person who created the predictive models. That way they can clarify any misinformation. In order to avoid measurement bias in the future, it would be wise to keep tabs of machines to ensure the data being produced is accurate. Also, as measurement bias could happen through human error, It's important that people who are making decisions and tracking data know the entire situation and have open communication. They should feel comfortable to ask any questions. Question 5. Explain the difference between regression and classification models in predictive analysis. When would you use one of these models over the other? The difference between regression and classification models in predictive analysis. Regression models, such as linear regression, uses a line of best fit. When using linear regression, you would calculate the line of best fit and then be able to plot future or past points depending on where they lie on the line. Classification models, such as logistic regression, is one step further. In classification models, you would classify whether a variable is yes or no, a binary result. You would use a regression model for continuous values such as price, income, or age, whereas a classification tool would be used for more distinct values such as real or false, male or female. This brings us to the end of this discussion. I hope you learned something, and I wish you all the best in the rest of your day. All right, have a nice evening. Thank you.